Hello, my name is Joseph Barr. I'm a graduate student out at the University of Georgia. Today I'm going to give you a quick tour of the university's pig farm that has a methane digester attached to it. This is one of the focuses that I want to try and understand this design so I may be able to take it to the Philippines and other island nations. What is important about this design is it allows the managers of the pig farm to be able to control a few key aspects. One of them being is the pig waste and smell. The second is the water resources on the property. And the third is the temperature and husbandry of the animals and the buildings. I'll take you a quick walk around and show you the mechanisms that they have in place and why they are important. Let's take a quick tour. This first video that we're looking at is the main administration building. Inside this building, on the door to the right, you're going to walk in and you immediately have to take a shower and change. This is a common practice amongst a lot of large-scale farms in the United States, both being the pig farms, the chickens, and any type of breeding facility. The purpose of the showers is that it allows the personnel to shower before going in contact with the animals and shower after they leave contact with the animals. This minimizes any type of biological cross-contamination, either exposure to the animals or exposure to their families at the house and the general community. To the left side, where those two long windows are, is where they have a meeting room for small classes, or also they have personnel and animal records as far as in breeding, vaccinations, and other information inside that building. To the left of it, you will see the barn. This is where they keep their equipment, small tractors, feed, vaccinations, and other resources that they need for the animals. To the right, you're going to see the first two buildings of the actual buildings. There are 3 on the right side. There are 4 buildings on the left side. Each building, the 2 long ones, hold 50 sows, and the shorter one behind that second building holds only 30, and on the other side it's 2 of each. Alright, the first animal building we're looking at here, I'll explain piece by piece what we're looking at. So the first thing to take into note is that back door. The level of the porch is the level inside the building throughout the whole building of a false floor. The reason that this is not closer to the ground is because below that level, 2 to 2.5 feet, is a false bottom that allows for what's called a plug and drain system. This has plywood walls lined with pond liners. This allows the animals to relieve their waste and it to be gathered and then pumped down to a gathering facility. Okay. On the far left-hand side, you will see the downspout for the drain. The design of this building is set up so that as it rains, all the rain is gathered, and instead of running onto the surface ground, it is piped to the end of the facility, and the water is gathered and used to minimize the water resources used by the farm from the local water table or the city water system. This helps reduce the cost, and it also allows the more reuse of efficient water use. That pipe you see right there on the bottom corner of the building is the plumbing pipe that allows the waste to be drained from under the building once a week. The feed container allows for just simple storage, delivery, and use of the animal feed. Each building has its own individual small grain silo, and all of the ducting you see around the building is for the airflow and odor and ammonia control inside the building. Alright, the area we're looking at now is on the other end of that building that we were just looking at. This is a swamp cooler, so this actually reuses some of that rainwater we were discussing, and it trickles down and blows cold cool air through the whole building. If you notice, there's one on the left side and there are two more on the right side. These animals and waste gives off a lot of heat and needs to be kept cool, or they start going into stress. When the pigs are in stress, they do not grow as well as they should, which makes for higher feed costs. Now, if you look down this main thoroughfare, this is the thoroughfare that they use to connect all of the buildings. There is a gated access on either side because you are not supposed to come in here unless you have been through the shower and been sterilized and safe for both you and the pigs. Okay, this allows for individual access of loading and unloading the animals. If you see, I'm standing here beside one of their animal chutes that's hooked up to a truck that is ready to take a load to the slaughterhouse. And in total, there are 7 buildings at this facility. It was originally designed to have 10 buildings. All right, we are now all the way down at the end of the main thoroughfare and looking at the last building. If you look there, you'll see the last downspout of all of the rain gutters. It's piped and plumbed underground to this first underground tank. You'll see that there is a power box with a pump motor on it. This allows them to be able to pump the water that's held down there up into the large tank. This allows them to store a large quantity of water that is able to assist them with both running the swamp coolers, the methane digester, spraying down the pins, as well as in the false bottom when they do a flush out system. We're going to look to the left. You're going to see the 2 tanks that are used to control and hold the pig waste. I don't know if you can see that at all, but it's all kind of solid, kind of smelly. But these 2 pumps take all of this waste and they pump it up, and is piped under the driveway over to that big ugly looking tower. That is spray foam around the outside of the tower. This allows for better control of the heat and water temperature inside of that tower. For the methane digester to properly work, the water has to be kept up around 100 degrees. This keeps the microbes in it nice and happy. You'll see the first input valve right there. Then you'll see the white pipe that is insulated that goes inside this building. We'll discuss that a little later. We are now looking at the methane digester from the other side. If you look in the background, you'll see the water tower that's there and the tanks in the ground. I brought you to this side so that way you could see the way this is set up on this side. So new material is inputted on the other side at the bottom, and then they sit there and take the old stuff that has been digested off of the top, and it lets gravity feed, and it goes over into this big tank. This big holding tank, as you can see, has had some overflow. There is no top to it. It keeps it and stores it until once or twice a week they will actually take this. It's piped underneath all of this ground. If you look there in the distance, you will see a portable sprayer. This is what they use for a wet application of the pig waste. Once it has processed through the digester, it no longer has a strong pungent smell, and it can be easily just sprayed onto the ground. Other applications for this is be able to load it onto a tiller that has a water or wet injector, and they actually till the ground and inject it under the surface, and then it covers it back up. Here's the other side of the methane digester and the post-digestion storage tanks. There is the next building we're going to go into. That houses a couple key components that allows the proper run and usage of the methane digester. There's the truck and the main thoroughfare, and this is the far side of the system. This has 4 additional buildings on this side. 2 of the larger designs on the end and 2 of the smaller size in the middle. This was designed and developed and built by the University of Georgia in 2008. This first building we're looking at is where the turbine is. We're sitting here looking at this. Remember that white pipe I was talking about on the outside? It is drawing in the waste. It comes in and they use the methane that is produced to burn and heat the waste. And what it does is, this is a heat exchange right here you're looking at. If you look, there's the flow valve control arrows. Talks about in and out. Then it comes back in and goes back out to the methane digester. The way they have these return nozzles focused is in a offset direction that encourages the circulation and the spinning of the liquid in there, so it doesn't get stagnant and start separating and causing different layers of solids and liquids. By circulating the water, it helps keep everything kind of mixed together, and that the microbes are able to go to all levels of the digester. This next building is where they have the methane run furnaces. This also helps with the husbandry of the animals and also the personnel. This uses the methane, produces hot and heat, and circulates it through the buildings of the housings for the pigs, as well as for that main personnel building. It helps keep the animals warm in the winter, while the swamp coolers help keep them cool in the summer. You'll see the different types of motors and monitors that are keeping everything under control, and they have a program that does it.